And the same-footed bowler and a World's finalist, along with his partner Dave Hodge Mallahan, has a 7 fill on that one.
34 after 2 there, Greg.
So 2 7 fills. Lou Gacharna to his left is working on his 3rd ball. Lanes are not strictly attached. Lou is partnered with Brian Surprise. So that's East Boston and Western Massachusetts combining in their one pair. I think it was a last-moment arrangement, I believe.
It was, because Brian's partner dropped out. I don't know who it was, but...
Lanes are not attached. The bowlers are not obliged to go ball for ball. Kustak's 2nd ball leaves him just the head pin. Gacharna's first, the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Binary bits.
And a 9 box for Mike.
We'll get our bearings at a moment here, folks. Make sure our stream is clicking on, and then we'll get into the full information. Thank you for your patience. Had some logistical challenges to overcome right here, but found a way to get you as much bowling as possible, and with the 4-2, it is clicking on of lane 15, all is well.
Oh, what a hit by Kustak. Drops 9. Leaves a 7-pin.
That's the effects of a fast house. This is Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Massachusetts. Pin plates gorgeously maintained, and therefore the pins will roll.
That was a 9 for Lou.
Yep, excuse me, I was a ball too quick. This should be a trivial cover. Kustak's having a great start to this. I was a little quick there, wasn't I?
Yeah, 3 out of 4 for Marks.
My name's Greg Gouillart. I'm alongside Kevin Burns, and this is Candlepin Bowling Network. This is the first event of this calendar year of the Candlepin Pro Series, a monthly traveling series of events across several houses and formats. This is the doubles elimination, and this is the 2nd of 5 qualifying strings in this first format here.
That's a 5 box, 58 at the 4. So, Greg, a lot's been going on. I know I have been around. I was supposed to be at the Ladies Internationals, working with you and Paul, but a lot was going on. I have been in the booth since the mixed worlds, believe it or not.
Well, it's great to see you back. We'll be here with you all day, essentially, through all the qualifying shifts now that we are here. That'll be a 9 box for Kustak and a 67.5. Right now, we're here for 5 qualifying shifts across all the bowlers across these 3 shifts. And then the high 24 will advance. Top 8 get a first-round bye and will be excused from the next string in effect. And then we will eliminate the bottom half of the field each time. The remaining 16 will go, and the top 8 of those scores advance. The bottom 8 are eliminated. And then we cut the field from 24 to 16 to 8 to 4 to 2 to the winner. Last year's champions, Josh Daley and Jimbo Ayotte.
And I believe they partnered up again this year. You know, I was looking. I was looking at the list for the 12 o'clock shift. There's a bunch of people on that list that I hadn't seen that are partnered up differently. Normally, Justin Waters is partnered up with Danny Harris. Not this time around. Waters is bowling with Chris Bovier, and Danny Harris is bowling with, I want to say, one of the Douglas boys. I'll double check that, but it's like a lot of different people bowling with trying something new. Hodge has a 9 after 1.
Yep, that last ball he threw was out of the gutter, unfortunately, so did not count.
And I'm looking around, and guess who's here?
Who?
You can recognize him with the beret hat. Tommy Olsa.
Then you're mentioning Tom Olsta. His grandson Nate Fontaine made the finals of this event last year with Nick Norcross. Josh Daley and Jimbo Ayotte won in the finals. Aaron Fontaine, the Pro Series playoff champion.
He is looking to make another run at it. What a year he had. He won the Pro Series, the Friday Night Pro League. He won the Mixed Worlds. I mean, he's just stacking up the winnings. I mean, he's having a career year, it looks like.
Paul Grant live on another stream on YouTube with the ladies tournament. Separate ladies and gentlemen tournament today to crown distinct winners in each. Ladies didn't actually have a doubles elimination format last year due to not enough demand for it, or not enough turnout, but this time around. Actually, it may have been a shortage of lanes. Excuse me, that might not be correct.
I actually like this piece of wood for Hodge. If he plays it on the left side on that cap, that should spin. That's what he does. let's go look at that one again, Greg.
Why, yes, we shall.
Just like how I called it. Watch how he does this. It's a nice approach. Ball goes right in. Plays it right on the tip, and the piece of wood takes out the 10. Now that's a pro spear right there.
He'll load this up.
Hodge, he fills it with a 9.
Beauty.
Leaves a 3-strike 7-pin, it looks like.
It's the equivalent of the orange pin. I had a comment wondering, what the heck is that? No, it's not a functional thing unless you're doing one of those cash side pools in a league, but that's not a thing.
And there's another spear for Hodge.
Some will deride his shooting of the wood, but hey, it went. Surprise the spare tribe. No, right through the middle.
What a surprise.
I'm
going to be those kind of days.
I'm sure he's never heard that.
I'm pretty sure he hasn't.
Hodge again.
A little light this time.
New England Flooring owner and proprietor. That's a team he bowls on in Worlds and, of course, the business he owns. New England Flooring and Backsplashes.
Also sponsors a Miss Wills team, too.
Right.
Oh,
yes.
3 in a row.
62 in the ball, and Kustak and Malahan are raking. And if you're new to Candlepin Bowling, hi, welcome. Plays the same as Big Ball, but roll 3 balls, play the wood where it falls.
And how many subscribers are we away from 5,000?
A lot of good folks helping us out here, so now I think we're within 40 at last check. 40 or 30, I lost track of the number, but thank you all.
Please like and subscribe. Hit that little bell for whenever we're on the air. Mm-hmm. And you can watch us anytime, any day of the week for all your Candlepin Bowling
fascinations.
Exactly. That's not the word I was going to use. I was trying to think of one, but
running 9s for surprise. He's up to 27 through 3.
That's not a surprise.
Kustak lost the check mark, unfortunately, so a few sticks go begging, but still 74 through 6. Any man would be thrilled to roll 120 or even higher.
In this house, you are looking at probably.
True.
Oh.
Ooh. Bad luck on that 2-pin falling. That's going to make this a wrong way triangle harder for Brian.
Oh.
Kustak, see you later. That was a dandy.
I want to see if he just missed it. I think he was trying to play the cap on that side saddle. Right in the 1-3 pocket. Good night.
Get that replay in edgewise there.
That's a good pro 10 right there, especially on a side saddle triangle.
Yeah.
So, Greg, did you bowl at all over the summer, or?
Not much. I think I substituted in one Ryan's league or so. Happy to have some time away, and now back to it. I always worry some bowlers are overexerting themselves, but, bowling's fun.
Oh, there's an eagle.
Spread eagle.
I was watching the Friday Night Pro League game of the week, and I believe it was Mark's. It was Joe Smith that almost converted the eagle, Ooh. If I'm correct.
I forget if it was his 3-in-1 bid or I'm thinking of someone else's. There was at least one good bid on that. Kustak strike fill is 7.
There's a 9.
A lot of same-footed bowlers out of Millis specifically, I'm noticing. Ashley Breton and Jason Doucette come to mind as well. That's under Brian's name, of course. And he's got 46 at the half.
Same thing as Luke Hascana, 46-46. So what they do...
Look at this 4-pin. Holy smokes, and now it gets over.
So real quickly, I want to explain something. Because it's a doubles event, whatever you bowl and whatever your partner bowls, they add those up. So they're doing a single and also a total score for both bowlers. And they take those totals, and that's how they determine the seeding.
Right. That'll be the seeding for this tournament. There is one distinction where individual scores matter, as Gacharna spares this up, and that's that for Pro Series points at the end of the year, your individual pinfall is taken. That's true of any other event, even in mixed doubles, which is coming up as well.
Speaking of the Pro Series, top, I want to say it's the top 8 that will get the bye in the playoffs. 9 through 24 will do knockout rounds just to get into the kind of seeding.
Woo. Top 8 excused, 9 through 24 have to compete.
Yep.
That's a 10 for Mike. He's got 110.
But I am expecting Aaron Fontaine to try and repeat, and I do expect Sean Baker to go far. Because I think Baker is going to be looking for a rematch against Fontaine. Because after what you and I saw at Exeter last year in the playoffs, Baker gave Fontaine a run for his money, but Fontaine came out on top.
Good to see you, John and Chad and everybody. Hey, that's gone. Luca Charna's strike on spare. One of 4 bowling siblings. Included Blanca, who was a finalist in the Ladies International.
And I don't think Blanca is bowling. I didn't see her name on the list for this.
Carla is, I know that much. Mike Kustak has a 5-mark string, including that one in the 10th.
You know who I'm looking forward to seeing this afternoon?
Who?
Pete Crawford, because he threw that 227 here.
That was even further right of here. I believe it was lanes 21 and 22 during the Friday Night Pro League.
Yeah.
Mike Kustak, 126 for his second qualifying string. Lou loading a strike. Ball dives off the back of the plate. He's got a bundle of 5.
At least it's not a 6-pack.
Well, he got his head pin. It better not be.
Well, it is a starlight, but without the 7 or the extra pin.
The East Boston bowler knows it well.
A little full, but
we mentioned the other siblings. Hello to Fernando as well.
That's an 8 fill on the strike.
There we go, 103.
And a 113. All right. Here's Hodge. He's working on a spare. Goes right into the pocket. Drops 7. Make it 8. 10-pin fell at the last minute.
He got a better splash than I was expecting given the entry angle.
Yeah, his angle was a little off, but it wasn't as off as I thought it was.
You do get the extra carry here. It's a little more forgiving. Make sure you get on your head, but yes! Wood did not deflect it. He was worried.
It did deflect it a little bit, but not much. It deflected it right into the 2-pin.
4 in a row for Hodge, and now it's 1, 2, 4, 9 for Gacharna. Lanes are not attached. We're just doing qualifying right now. 14 lanes in action right now, all 22 expected for the 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. shifts to come.
It's going to be a full house, folks.
Oh, wow. Tough to get both the 4 and the 9. Did well to get those 3.
It is. So, Greg, up the year, you were asking me about a certain rule that happened last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for those of you who watched the Friday Night Pro League, I think it might be a good idea if we get a bowler's perspective on it.
You're talking about the Tony Levesque viral clip that I was referencing, I assume.
Exactly. And you were saying to me that the pin kind of slid over. It was half in the channel and on the plate.
It wasn't in Friday night, but I referenced that. Yeah.
Okay. So, by the letter of the rule, if the pin is still standing and if it's not leaning, it is considered a pin standing up. However, because it's leaning on the half on and half off the plate, it becomes a very, 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 very tricky shot because, one, if your ball goes into the gutter, you have a good chance on losing that pin. But if your ball goes to the left and knocks it legally, then it's still good. But I get your point about why is it not in the rule book.
Right. The rule book defines where if the pin is straddling the gutter in the pin plate, what you're saying is that you have to play it on the pin plate. But the rule I'm wondering is if a pin is standing, some people say, if the center of the pin is over the gutter edge, that should be down, even if it's upright somehow. But I do not see that as an explicit ruling.
Oh, there's a lemon drop for Brian Surprise.
We know what that means.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say it, but guess how many lemon drops I had so far this year in my league at Harvard. In my league at Harvard. I had 3 the first night, and I had 1 this past week. So I'm keeping track on how much I owe Paul for the year. And
this is how the lemon drop surveillance apparatus gets going. Oh, dear. So, there you go.
Tough 3-bus. Hodge takes the back pin out. Hodge should have a perfect, should be 10-10, but no.
Well, he could be pretty level with his partner right now.
He's about 5 pins ahead of his partner. And there's another,
Too light on it, obviously. Harsh to say.
I don't know. I think it was the angle that he went in.
Brian got thin on it, but it's going to splash, and he's got a plank in front of the 10-pin.
I noticed something here. Because the lanes are synthetic, the ball is going to glide or it's going to slide.
Mm-hmm.
If your ball is going to slide, you're not going to get the action. If your ball rotates like how Brian's did on that light headpin hit, you're going to get the splash.
He covers.
And I'm going to be honest with everybody. I hate synthetic lanes. I think it destroys the game of Candlepin. Is not the, to me, synthetic lanes belong in 10-pin. That's my philosophy. That's been my view for as long as I've been.
It's an opinion a lot of people hold. Wood lanes, a lot of people think is the purest way to play Candlepin. On the other hand, there's a bit of a resource and manufacturing logistics issue on the other side.
But it's also the maintenance issue, too.
Right.
It's a lot easier to maintain synthetic than it is wood.
Hodge filling his 5th mark of the string right now. And that's also why the lob line rule is in effect as well, to maintain the wood lanes better. In synthetic lanes, it matters comparatively less. 19 and another for Brian Surprise, 78 in a ball through 8.
Trying to make up for that 3-box.
Dave Sparefill right down the middle, cruelly denied 130. He settles for 129.
So it'll be a 255 for the two of them, if my math is right. Plus whatever they did in their first one.
No, I don't have to tell people they're live. The Facebook post tells people we're live. Just thinking it through.
Brian Johnson Caleri, named after Bob Caleri.
Where's he at? Come on, we got Mike Kustak back. Long time no see.
I know. I hadn't seen Kustak.
Come on, Bobbert. Be nice to meet you for a start. Very interesting man. I'd love to meet for myself.
Hey, I met the most interesting bowler ever, and that was a couple years ago at the Miss Worlds.
This for a 10-box for Brian. Gads 2, that's a fine out. 9-box.
That's a pro 9 right there.
All you need, 9s are fine. Bob live on another Paul is live on another stream with the women's tournament. They're qualifying as well, same thing, 5 strings. Not sure how many will advance to their Eliminator tournament, but they should have one. Goodbye.
Needed that. That's definitely going to make up for that 3-box that he had.
That went too quick. Let's see it again.
Oh, just buried the pocket.
Had a bit of a struggle string, of course, as it didn't like that box 6, but now 3 marks in the last 4. It's only a big opportunity here to help out Lou. I remember Lou Gacharna throwing a double strike in the 10th, and I think it was a doubles tournament. That was in Woburn Bolodrome, in fact. That was a few years ago.
I remember last year, I don't know if you were at Academy last year. I remember Garcia Jr. throwing a 200 even.
Mm-hmm. That was last year in this very doubles elimination tournament.
Yep.
Which also started that calendar year. Full schedule available. We had a post on Candlepin Bowling Network, but more reliably on the Candlepin Pro Series Facebook page, the Candlepin Pro Series.
The next stop is in early October, and it will be in Sanford Bolorama.
The fill is 10. Nice pickup on the 1-3-7-10. Brian Surprise, 112. Partnership total, 235. Mike Kustak and Dave Hodge-Mallahan, 255. Looks like a couple box or 2 left. I need to get my bearings, so it'll be a brief audio timeout. We'll start string 3 in just a moment. Just a minute. And welcome back. Chris Ryder and Devin Brooks will be on lane 14 this time. The other way around, actually. This is Devin Brooks. He's going first in this case. He's 4, 5, 7, 8.
Piece of wood against the 5. It's kind of on an angle. It's not really a favorable piece of wood.
Lopsidedly our furthest distance among these bowlers. They both came out of Canada. Chris Ryder, the defending men's international singles champion.
What a shot.
Devin Brooks, spare. The Kingswood Bulletproof bowler. Chris Ryder of Prosperity U. Lou tough sledding on this spread eagle-ish leave, and he's going to get a 6 to begin. Nope, sorry.
Nope.
One more. Wrong scoreboard, Gregory. So excuse me, it's a 7. Didn't quite get the out on the third ball after all, but still. Some extra pins. Brooks spare fill is 5.
This time it's a little bit different. It's a full horseman.
Piece of wood. Does that contain it, I wonder? Maybe it makes
that's going to... If he misses the head pin, he's just going to leave the head pin.
Well, he got to hit the head pin, of course. It's good. I was wondering if maybe that would contain all the action. I'm curious to see that again.
I am too.
I'll wait for Lou's ball anyway, so it gives me a chance. Lanes are not attached. Didn't have to, but let's see. I think it glanced off the...
No, he went on the left side of the wood. Let's see, on the head pin. Yeah, he went on the left side. And there was enough power to take out the 5.
There we go. Scored 9 for Lou, 16 for 2. Brooks again. Real bend-down delivery there. He's got 6 unless this 2-pin trips. On the spare.
No, the 2-pin is going to stay. That's a solid 2-pin that's not going to fall. That's a 7 job. Oh,
holy smokes, everything around the 7-pin.
The 7-pin was not even touched.
Gave that reaction like, it was close. Spare try for Lou on the 1-2-4. Louis Kacharna. It's good. Luis.
You know what I think of when on the way down here?
Oh?
Last year when Jenny Rowe threw that 210 in her league.
The highest scoring women's string of all time. Unless Shelley Carr wants to say anything. She may have a case, but not certified. Highest certified score is Jenny Rose.
Oh, the hardware she got from that. Which you can see the footage on Candlepin Bowl Network because Paul actually took the time to come down to do that interview. And there's also a video, I think, of the actual 210 happening.
Yep, from the surveillance camera simply, which is how they certified it despite the lack of foul lights, but the procedures had changed and that's allowed.
So real quickly, Dave Barber wants us to mention a new forum that's out. It's called the Candlepin Bowlers. What is it called?
Candlepin Bowlers Association, not to be confused with the International Candlepin Bowling Association. The Candlepin Bowlers Association is by bowlers for bowlers, quite simply. You can go to candlepinbowlersassociation.org, candlepinbowlersassociation.org for more information about that. But it's essentially, for a small membership fee, you, and this is a PSA for the bowlers, not necessarily our wider audience, but you, the bowler, can help support the game. They're looking to amalgamate resources, centralize the marketing, and other facets about the game.
It also is good.
Average tracking.
And it's also going to be good for the to get the game back to where it was in the heyday, which is the goal of Candlepin Bowl Network, Candlepin Corner, and all that stuff. It's trying to get the game back out there, which is what we are trying to do.
True. Maybe we don't have a lot of centralized resources, and this is just another attempt to rebuild that.
I mean, think about all the houses that are closed, and it's sad to see, but at least it's trying to make a comeback. But
I think we're headed in the right direction, even though it may not be exactly where we were once upon a time.
In Osa's heyday, it was really popular. There's a odd-looking 9 drop by Brian Surprise. There's a spear for Brian. Chris Ryder with a, I don't know if that was a 10. No, that was a spear for.
He does end up with a 10 box in this one, but you're right. Is this enough, essentially, is the main thing. I mean, obviously, nobody likes to see houses closing at the same time, and yet one of the things I maintain is that as long as we love Candlepin, we'll have some place to go with it as well.
Yeah.
Still plenty of houses, still lots of love in the game. And even cases of Leda lanes where they were forced to relocate, they're doing their best.
I've been meaning to ask you, yeah, I am a Leda house bull, but what's the story with that? Because I really haven't heard anything in the last few months about it.
It's vague to me as well, but relocation is being actively pursued at last check.
Okay.
There is a concrete filing that happened. I don't know if it's terribly far along in the real estate acquisition process, but it was a formal inquiry, I believe, of some sort. It would not be and it was not for a national location, but it was pretty much down the road as well. So still a chance to maybe maintain the community if that were to pan out. We're streaming here. This is Candlepin Bowling Network on Facebook and YouTube. Excuse us, we need to do this, sorry. Triangle 6, 9, 10 for Brian Surprise, and a 7 fill on that.
So I went by Leda yesterday, actually no, last night, and they started taking the
3 in a row.
The top of the roof off. It's not completely not down yet, so if you still want to go by and take pictures, you still can do that.
From the outside.
Yeah. I actually went, when I was dealing with that ankle injury, I actually did go in for the last time. I bought a couple balls and a pin, and I had to say, it was a sad sight to see. So many memories for me at Leda. I threw my high single at Leda. I won first place in a couple leagues there.
And many TV memories for the rest of us.
Which leads me to another question. What's happening with Candlepin skins on a sister station on Candlepin Corner? Is that going to come back when Leda comes back? Or
not directly affiliated with Candlepin Bowling Network, but good allies of us as well.
That's why I call them a sister station.
Something like that, yeah. Sister cities, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Brian misses that and can't go 4 in a row. Ryder, our singles champion, gets 9 in the men's internationals. We'll have a singles event coming up later in the Pro Series.
I think we have a couple of them.
Chris has only lost, no, excuse me, he spared on that one, excuse me. 39 in a ball through 4. Lanes are not strictly attached. There's no obligation to go ball for ball or even bowler for bowler, especially. That's good for pace of play. Just make sure you get your lane moving as quickly as possible.
Now, I was following some of the ladies internationals, and I heard that they came up with a pace of play rule for the ladies this year where they wanted everything to move a little quicker.
The intended implementation was to have them start up even if the computer wasn't started up. This wasn't always done, so whenever one doesn't do it, then it bottlenecks everything, but that was the idea, because the CompuScore, which is different than the Cubica system here at Ryan Family Amusements, starts up slower. So even though it's nice to have a semi-automatic system, there is a dated aspect of the CompuScore where it's slow to start up and more difficult to report scores quickly, including a very slow dot matrix printer. Ryder's stuck because there's deadwood out there, so he's waiting for that to be removed.
Looks like Dean Sullivan's going to go down and take a look at it, because I did see him walk down towards the lane.
Exactly as he should. Waits for the neighbor to go. That's Luca Charna. We see him fluke a 1-3-6.
You know, it's always good to see Dean around. I actually bowled with Dean a couple of times in my later days, but he's
Dean of the Palace. In reference to King of the Palace, the old show out of the former New Palace Lanes in Fitchburg, Mass.
That place is still for sale, last I heard.
Interesting.
If I had the money, I'd go after it. Trust me, I would have.
Wouldn't we all?
Well, here's the thing.
If I win the lottery, there'll be signs.
But here's the thing. Where that bowling alley is located, there's really no parking. So it is a beep and a half to even park there.
Right.
I know, because I tried out for King of the Palace a couple of times. So every time I think of King of the Palace, I think of Steve Bronchuk, who by far I would love to have him on with us one of these days, just so we can get his perspective on the spread eagle.
I think Kustak just made it. I think it was the 7-10. We're going to take a quick peek at that. Yeah, he did. It was the 7-10, and it just turned right around.
I wasn't even watching because I was trying to finish my thought.
No worries.
I mean, I said it before. I mean, Steve Bronchuk complained about the Eagle more than anybody.
No, here we go.
And Luca Chana just had the Eagle almost, and I was thinking, and I was like, wow, what a coincidence. You mentioned Bronchuk and you punched an Eagle.
Brooks spares that one. He's got 4 marks and 6. Got everything except the headpin and took the gift. 1, 2, 7, 10. Now that front piece of wood, I worry, will deflect the ball unless Lou plays it just right.
I don't think so. I think that's going to take everything. Yeah.
You've proven me wrong before. Let's see. Oh, in front of the 10 pin. Maybe high on it?
Maybe. I think it was a little too high.
Harsh to say, he was in the area, and he did get the pins for it.
He got 3 out of the 4, but it's like he played that right where he had to.
Looked like fair and a 10 to me, 75 through 8. Bowlers decide anyway in the spirit of sportsmanship and integrity. When there was no official present. If there were Candlepin officials, who would be entrusted? The proprietor, maybe? Or could the ICBA one day really get back into being involved with, like, training officials?
Almost everything that the ICBA has done. I don't even think... I mean, I heard rumors that they were going to take out the lob line.
I think it's unlikely that they will, but I know a lot of bowlers find that rule politically undesirable.
But another rule that I've been hearing is that they're going to start banning baby powder.
That one I think would get more support. A lot of people, literally last night I heard critiques of, they cake the stuff everywhere. It's ridiculous. I had to change up my whole approach to avoid sticking.
I'm going to say it straight up. Baby powder is going to damage the approaches.
I think so too. You can't.
It's not good for the approaches. I know there are bowlers out there who are probably watching and saying, "Oh, I need the baby powder to slide." And I'm like, "No, you don't." And they actually make a easy slide that you can put on your shoe, and it's not going to damage the approach because that stuff is made for the approaches. Whereas baby powder has a substance in it that is not good for wood. All the approaches, no matter where you are, they're wood. Unless you go to Amusements and they're synthetic. With synthetic, you are going to stick. There's no way around it. And I take it there was a good shot that we missed.
Yeah, there was a wacky spare Lou just made. We're going to take a look at this one, the 1, 3, 8, and 10.
Oh, it's a Qualif minus the 6 pin.
Yeah, and again, that wild bouncing pin, boing on the 10, but actually another roller takes it. Thank you.
Oh, wow, that's a... But you do see my point. I mean, some people feel like it's an extra security blanket, but you're not doing bowling alleys any favors because you're ruining the approaches with them.
Exactly, and to your point, you're against baby powder being like slathered on the approaches, just being indiscriminately dumped on the approach for everyone to cope with.
If you're going to use baby powder, put it on the carpet, put your foot in it, put enough on it, but make sure it's on your sliding part of your shoe, so that way you're not dragging it onto the approach. That's the point I've been trying to make for years. But the other issue is not everybody understands that it can damage the wood. So I can see why the ICBA would start banning lead bowlers who don't bowl on the pro level to ban it.
I'm very surprised it's not an official rule. I think it would benefit everybody alike.
I know a few people on the ICBA board. And I've been talking about Perella about it as well. And I'm like, what would it take for the ICBA to make baby powder illegal? Because I'll be willing, as a former worker for a bowling alley, to go up and say, this is what it's doing. It's damaging the approaches. You can find lead bowlers who bowl in leads, they could get fined for using baby powder if they get caught.
Yep. Brooks on a spare fill in the 10th. He's got a 6 fill and a 124 with that 5-mark string. But yep, I think the ICBA is overdue for a rulebook revision, in my opinion. I believe the last update that was tagged as such was in 2011, is my opinion. My perception, excuse me.
I believe it was, but I think we should ask one of the committee members, because
Paul knows most about the ICBA, and it'd be nice to have his perspective on it as well.
Remind me to ask him during the finals, because I would love to get his point of view on it, because I know Paul has his opinions about everything, but
don't we all?
Yeah, but I've actually, true story, it was right before the Easter Classic, okay? Last year, we were doing our league, and we were, Matt Susie, Lexi, and the whole staff were getting the bowling alley ready for the tournament. One of the lead bowlers decided to be a donkey right underneath the ball rack, put baby powder in it. Matt Susie went up to him and said to him, why are you doing that? That's illegal. You can't use that. That lead bowler said, well, I don't care. I need it. If I were in Matt's...
a regard for others.
If I was in Matt's shoes, you know what I would have done?
Ejection, right?
I would have thrown him out. I would have said, you're out the league. You're out of this building.
Yeah,
I would have said, you're done.
There's a cordial... Yeah. It just doesn't even have to be like a superiority thing. Just like, we disagree. Bye.
Yeah, and you know what?
It is not illegal, but it is unethical in our opinion.
But take it from me, who bowls on Easter religiously, except for because Lena's gone.
Religiously on Easter, yes.
No pun intended. But I was very upset to see that. I even said to Terry Ann, I can't bowl on that lane now because I know there's baby powder on it.
Yeah. Brian's got a chance here to get a 6th mark. He just goes wide of it. Diamond Junction Lanes, Palmer, Massachusetts was the last ACST home of his. Maybe it is again this year.
I love his ponytail on the top of his head.
Gorgeous. I love people with the distinct hairdo. My hairdo is distinct for all the wrong reasons.
Well, I noticed that the beard is actually looking pretty good this time around.
Thank you. For once.
I don't know if you noticed. I actually changed mine off.
I did notice. Something was different, yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that. You know how I was supposed to be at the Ladies Internationals working with you and Paul?
In Boutwells, yep.
I couldn't.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't go because we were celebrating my parents' 50th anniversary out in Maui. So I was very busy the week that leading up to the trip. And the second part was that the ladies internationals fall like 6 days before I was to leave, and it was so hard for me just to get up there and be there. So I was like, no, it's not.
Brian does convert the 4-7 this time. Ryder, after making a 7-10 split conversion we just saw, gets a 7 fill. Well, good to see you now. We're all clean-shaven for the start of a new regular bowling season. Series, a monthly series of events culminating in the playoffs at the year's end. Josh Daley and Madison Riva Bowlers of the Year, and then Aaron Fontaine and Madison Riva playoff champions.
Those two are going to have a tidal wave coming for them this year.
Everyone wants to take out the top. Bryant's surprise 5 fill 139.
With a 103.
6 months. Yeah.
With a 103 on top of that, that's a
242. 121 average. I'm a math major.
I can tell.
Ryder's back to back on lane 14. Let's see how he fills the safe. I'm insufferable. My name is Greg Gouillart, and that's Kevin Burns. Paul Grant will be joining us later. He's currently live elsewhere on YouTube, covering the ladies' side of the field. Separate ladies and gentlemen tournaments today here in Millis, Massachusetts.
What a hit. I thought that was going to be the 7-10 split. He destroyed that rack.
Got that little extra corner. That's the symptom of a fast house and good bowling, of course. Otherwise, where's my regular 150s? Come on.
You don't bowl enough to throw 150.
I'd bowl enough to roll 500. Danny Finn had an anecdote of some bowler was sheepishly like, I've never rolled a 500. And then he says, like, bowler came up to him and was just like, I know 500 is not a big deal, but it's my high five. Could I get a printout? So he did it and gave it to me. That was my story. He kindly left it anonymous, but I will be happy to admit that was me being like, I know the scope of the scores you guys get. I don't want to be too much trouble. But Danny and Jeremy, both on the podcast, celebrate the milestones, So that just goes to show their character as well.
When I threw my 115, I wish I got a printout of that because that was my high.
Very nice. Chris Ryder 120, and we'll take a brief timeout here. Looks like everyone's just about done, and it'll just be a box or two. We'll be right back in a minute. Welcome back. That's Nate Lees, partnered with Jack Berrigan. Nate Lees, one of the 6 Pro Series co-organizers. Lees is a great tournament organizer overall. Devin Brooks and Chris Ryder returning on lane number 15. This is string 4 of 5 of this 10 a.m. qualifier.
And Nate with a 7-10 split pickup. I was following along with Paul.
Oh, nice.
I was following along with Paul the other day about last week about how Kirk was making his comeback after being out for so long. It looked like Paul hadn't missed a beat, and neither did Nate with that strike on spear.
Saw that. My coup stack's a bit tall in our pin cam. We'll just go with it, though. Maybe there's a way I can adjust. I'll figure that out. Plus, also, this is temporary anyway. We're going to move over to another lane later for the 12 p.m., so we won't be so off-angle in the future. Whoa, that's close, but no 10-pin.
So if your high single is a 500, I mean, your high, that's your high triple, or is that your high 500?
I think I've gone a few pins over that since.
Oh. Now, you were up in Canada, like, what, a month ago? And you went to one of the bowling...
Both of the ones in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Kingswood Bowling Center, a former host of Men's Worlds, and then also to the Drome by Trailway, the former Bowladrome, a beautiful 12-lane barn.
And I believe Paul Grant was busting your chops about something you did.
I may have had a lemon drop. I may have shown that off. Teehee. 39 starts for both of our featured bowlers. Lanes are not attached, but great to see all the same. Lees now gets a 9 box. Just that pin. That's better. Note to self, it's that monitor and that monitor. Okay.
Oh, good night.
That pin gets dispatched with Devin Brooks. Fills of 10-9 and another coming up. Lee's great to see him doing well. He's had a recently up and down season, but now is flourishing in these first 3 boxes. His partner Jack Berrigan, you see in frame, he'll be coming up next. And just too many pins to deal with here, but gets the 5 pin. Brooks on the spare try. It's a good one. Splashes into it a bit, so it's a 7.
I don't like that wood.
High entry.
It's not a good piece of wood. I have no idea how to... I think his best bet is play the 2-pinner. Try and get something out the wall. Take the 10.
What doesn't really elevate the shot. He'll go direct and cuts it over the 9 spot.
Oh, you should have seen the cut shot I had the other day. I had the 2-pin, the 4, and the 7. I cut the 2-pin so fine that I took the 4, and the 4-pin decided to fall to the left towards the sidewall and left the 7-pin all by itself. And that would have been one hell of a 10. And here is Nate Lees with the dreaded eagle.
Any chance? Nothing coming off the wall. This is Brooks' spare try, on lane 15.
And
not quite.
Just so people know, the 12 o'clock shift is starting to filter in, so it's going to get pretty noisy in here, so we'll do our best.
We'll make do. We'll clean it up a little bit. That's a 10 box. Speaking of cleanup, 76.5 for Devin Brooks. We'll clean it up a little for the strings to come. Yep. This is Jack Berrigan. He gets the 3-6-10 to start. Chris Ryder now stepping up on lane 15. He's got wood there. Captive flex it away, I'm afraid, and that's going to be a miss. Ryder starting off.
Buries the pocket. It's actually not a bad split.
Well, he did leave the 3-pin, but nonetheless.
And Jack with a 9.
Yep, 9 start.
So if his uncle's nickname was Cookie, would that make Jack kind of like sort of a cookie almost, or?
As long as you don't call him Crummy, I think anything will do.
Yeah, exactly.
No, not exactly. Don't you dare.
I'm not. But if he has a crummy lead, but there you go.
All right. And yes, we are talking about Channel 5 alumnus Dave Richards.
Yeah.
Saw him in the mixed internationals also at Bout Wells, Concord, New Hampshire.
I actually got to cover him with Bob Lee. because he was on that side. Now, that finals, the playoff match, where it was me, you, Bob, and Paul. And I said that whole entire weekend. If you want to this is my last stat I'm going to do for Candlepin Bowling Network. 15% of the time the corner pin went on a spear loop. It didn't matter if it was the Four Horsemen. It didn't matter if it was the half whistle, whatever it was.
55%. Interesting.
15%, not
15.
Yeah. That corner pin would not go. And you were playing the ball right where you had to. It would not budge.
We're experiencing a similar thing with last night's Friday Night Pro League match. There's a lot of kinetic energy just wasn't going back to the back rows.
It wasn't.
Not enough into this 5-pin either for Ryder. It's still rocking and pushing and not dropping.
No, because I noticed that last night. And what Bob said to me, and not everybody heard this because it was off the air. What Bob said to me, you know so much about the game. Why don't you just do analysis from now on? And I'm like, you know what? That's not a bad idea because it gets me out of the stats, and that way I'm not at a computer doing numbers all the time.
Makes sense. Certainly we're going to need to do a lot of number crunching when it comes to the elimination time. Elimination round, top 24 of all these qualifiers for the 5-string total doubles pinfall will advance. Top 24 advance. Top 8 get a first-round bye, so the remaining 16 will compete. Top half of scores advance to the next round. So we try to cut from 24 to 16 to 8 to 4 to 2, although any ties in that top score means, well, the top 8 scores advance, which means if anyone is tied for that 8th score, they advance as well. So if they advance on the bubble anyway. So it's possible you get slightly more than 8, or we could even have a 3-way final. Chris covers this one, and he's got back-to-back spares.
Well, what a shot by Brian Surprise. He just converted one of the toughest shots in the game. It was the 1-9-10 without wood.
I'm really happy to see the pace of play here, but I might have to go to just one featured lane in the future here. It's a little tough to keep track of both the lanes, but we'll figure this out.
As time goes on.
As time goes by. 9 drop. Complete list of bowlers available on Candlepin Pro Series and Candlepin Bowling Network Facebook pages. Faye Sawyer, one of them. She's here now.
I also see Arson Lloyd Barnes.
We saw him last night with Academy 2 and newly clad in gray.
Yeah, some of the guys from Power Sports, Will's team, Chris Bolver from the Lucky Strikes Will's team. Greg Holbrook is also in the house.
Great bowling all the way through. Somehow Berrigan's 55 and a ball half is somehow bottom among all the 4 we featured right now.
So a lot of the heavy hitters that bowl regularly in this tournament are going to be in the next 2 shifts. I'm not saying that these guys that we have now are not heavy hitters, but they are. But the guys that you expect to win in almost every event are coming out.
10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 2 p.m. shifts.
I heard that the 12 and the 2 p.m. filled up really quick. Nate Lees has been promoting the ladies' pro side for so long, trying to get more ladies to come out and bowl. And from what I've been seeing, the numbers for the ladies is still down, but hopefully it'll get back up.
Yeah, strike lit up on the board there briefly. I was a little confused by that. 10 box for Lees, 74 through 6.
Birch drops 8, was the 1 and the 3. Piece of wood rolling out towards the 3-pin. Well, it's kind of in between.
It's good. 4th mark of the string for Devin Brooks.
And another mark for Nate Lees.
And he's got 84 in a ball through 7. So 14 over, chance to go 20 over. Scores are mounting up quick for them all. Brooks, these are still spilling, and look at this. 3-pin trips, and he's got a strike on spare.
That's similar to a backdoor strike.
And got some backdoor action, tell you what. At least hoping for some of the same, but he gets the 1, 2, 9, 10.
This can go. He has decent wood to cover the 9 and 10. You have to play in between the 1 and the 2 for that to go.
Devin has his right to reset in that situation and keep the action moving, but 1, 2, 9, and 10.
He plays the wood. He played the wood. He missed the hairpin completely. Nice offer by Nate, but no luck.
So looking for sticks here. That's a tough out to maneuver, and he gets a 7-box. Tough on that, so he basically only profits 3 on that exchange, 6 up and then 3 left standing, but 97 not too shabby at all. Brooks looking for more. Haven't seen a double yet, but you almost half expect it here, more than most places. Instead, the 1, 2, 6, 8, 10.
Luca China's looking at a banana split.
Nate leads the 5 and 10. I think the only really important leave names to know are 4 Horsemen, Spread Eagle, and Half Worcester. The rest is mostly just us riffing or going off of other cultural references.
Well, some of them are, or Paul Grant came up with the names.
I had a hand in some of them. I've stirred the pot as well. Least takes 9. That's 106 through 9. Looking forward to covering this entire day today. 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. qualifiers later. We'll probably move the camera over and get it a little more straightened out so it'll be even better than before. Just the 2-pin remaining for Brooks.
We're in the high 120s.
1, 2, 4, 8, 10. Nate Lee's co-organizer. Lori Schiappa, Nick Zuffalato, and Samantha Zuffalato, and Dave and Allie Barber. And their trusty printer they always bring everywhere.
And their kids, too.
I joked with Freshie, that's Nick Zuffalato. Pro Series daycare is going to be so lit.
Oh, yeah. Especially with Freshie having his first child.
That's a sign of a healthy community that,
Yeah.
a kid can be safe there, That's what you like to see.
I mean, little Charlotte Barber, David and Allie's little girl. She's a cutie.
That's a hammer by Brooks on that spare, and here he goes again. I would like to see that again personally. A little full in the pin, but Wood just comes screaming off the wall. And there you go, 152 plus.
Now these are the Millis scores right here.
But again, where's my 150 even though I'm horrifically mid?
Oh.
Right down the middle, Spread Eagle.
As Steve Chuck would say. Oh, no.
Dennis, how does that happen? Right down Main Street. Berrigan had a clutch moment when he was doing this doubles event with Matt Susi, speaking of Lita Lanes. Brooks, 2 balls remaining in this string. He's got 5.
Cleary on the right side. 4 Horsemen, 1, 2, 4, 7, and the 9-pin.
2 and 7 for Berrigan. Another stream available with Paul Grant on the ladies' side. These gentlemen are doing quite fine for themselves. Phil is 9, 161 for Devin Brooks.
Wow.
What impresses me most, it's funny, the fact that you learn a little late on the job here. New Brunswick has nothing but Candlepin. There's no mainstream big ball 10-pin at all.
What about 5-pin? Because that's
Also no. You would think so, being Canadian, but not in the Maritimes. I think there was one other New Brunswick center that I'm going to need to look up during the interval as well, because I think they partnered with a preservation society on that one, but I'm trying to remember the name of it. I'll get around to that. Bear with me, Chad. I'm going to find my way through this. I looked it up and was like, darn it. Eventually I had to, go to my friend's wedding and all that, so, there's that. That's why I was in Freddie in the first place. We'll be in Moncton same province, come November for Men's Worlds.
I will not be there, but I will follow along as much as I can. I will provide insight as much as I can.
You're welcome in chat, and never a worry. Just great to see you now. Ryder takes 10, 74 through 6. That's Kevin Burns. I'm Greg Gouillart. Paul Grant will join us later. DJ Particle, good to see you. Always does that nightly virtual league on Twitch. Good to see you. Emulated Outrun the Bear, huh? Yeah. One of the greatest tournament ideas, greatest modern tournament ideas, hosted right here in Millis. Kate Finn and Danny Finn. Kate especially with all her work on the laptop. Doing a great job with that tournament that they weren't sure was going to take off.
Danny Finn, who yells a lot.
1-2-4. No, he's nice.
Before we started, I said to Danny, no yelling. I have a migraine already. He said, but I like to yell. And I said, I don't care. I want to hear you yelling.
Yelling is cathartic.
Oh, especially in this.
Berrigan will try to shout out the 2-4-10. Very vertical wood, though. Even from this angle, it's pretty clear the angle is severe.
Were you covering the Exeter Teams tournament last weekend with Paul or not?
Yes.
Do you remember when Sage Johnson had that 3-1 split?
You do not need John Boy to read her reaction to that.
You want my you know me. I watch everything.
You have the floor, my friend.
My take on that is that she played the shot exactly the way she was supposed to. But what I think happened was that piece of wood to take up to 7 just died on her. Because I was watching Nico's highlight reel on it, and it was like, it kind of like just stopped.
Ran out of steam.
It just leaned. But her reaction, priceless. You don't have to be.
And she's usually the least vocal of the Johnsons, but she had a strong opinion on that one.
And you know what? I love the Johnsons. I love Sonia, and I love Sage, and I love Mario. But her reaction
gets it.
Her reaction was exactly what it should have been. Her language, on the other hand, not so much.
Yeah. You want to keep that to a minimum, but
yeah. I mean,
it is sort of a trope among many bowlers.
I
want to mention something real quick. As Jack Berrigan got that 10 pin to go, he actually took one. He took a foul actually in box 9, but he interestingly hit corner wood as he fills 10 for a 124. It was a corner pin hit and the 10 pin. He called it no good because a lot of bowlers will, give the benefit of the doubt. But going by the ICBA rule, if you hit simultaneously corner wood and corner pin, that's supposed to be fair.
But you know what? It's also bowler's call because I had the exact same situation.
Yeah, and nobody wants to be the one who took that pin, especially camera or no.
Yep.
Bowlers do not want to be the one, taking pins out of the gutter that they don't deserve. That ethical standard applies regardless of this new surveillance apparatus the Candlepin Bowling Network has brought to an alley near you. 4-7. Most bowlers consider us part of the furniture at this point, honestly. The problem, they've got 10 problems in front of them. They don't have room for any more.
10 little problems in one ball. That's about 2-7.
And we mean little. Although there's a big fat plank there, but Ryder misplays it, I'm afraid. So it'll be still a 120 string.
He went right into the gutter with that, and nothing went. Good thing nothing went.
Mm-hmm. Nothing got fouled away. Exactly, Kevin.
If he makes this is going to be the toughest PG special you can get. And there you go.
Ball Grant special, missed the second, make the third. Never a good time for that. 124. A partnership total of 285. 142.5 average. Nate Lees and Jack Berrigan average 120. Remember, we're taking 5 strings total pinfall for each pair across all 3 shifts. Top 24 pairs advance in the gentleman's side anyway. And then the elimination halves, the top 8 of 16 scores will advance. Top 8 of 16 scores will advance once the bye seats get back in. Top 4 of 8, top 2 of 4. Top 1 of 2. And there we go. Next string starting in just a moment. We look like we're about a few boxes away going by all the other lanes. We'll be right back with you in just a moment. And welcome back. That's Joe Smith on lane 14. We saw him last night.
You did. I didn't.
You don't watch every single Candlepin Bowling Network stream, Kevin Burns?
No, I don't.
My name's Greg Gouillart, and I'm insufferable at times. 5 and 7. That's not going to go. Somehow didn't get the cut. Nate Lees will step back up on lane number 15. There was a nice coincidence that Jimbo, Ayotte, and Josh Daley were also both featured on opposite teams in last night's Friday Night Pro League match, but they were this year's defending last year's doubles elimination champions, so opponents in the Friday Night Pro League, but very much partners in this event. I believe they did it also in Woburn for a doubles Pro Series event back when we were a society, and it was still open and all that, but alas.
We still don't know what's going on with Woburn.
It's a bit of a black box at the moment right now, but the fate of the Candlepin lanes is unclear, and this is something I wish someone, maybe the ICBA has the power, so Smith picks that up to 1-1 split. I wish there was some way to have owners sign you can't bind them to anything, but just like a pact to be like, if I'm done, I have to retire, as is my God-given right, just I promise to give the lanes over so that someone else can do it, since machines and even lane production to a certain extent as well, I mean, this synthetic lanes, to your point, are easier than wooden lanes, but, preservation, especially for those who like wooden lanes, but preserving the pins at a machine, which is not an active production, so it's kind of like the New York City Hackney medallions where you kind of have to pass them around once one is done with it.
Candlepin Sales came up with the Z4 machine, and those are the newer machines, but Candlepin Sales went, I don't know what happened.
Retirement.
Yeah, so it's kind of like...
As is his right,
Yeah, so it's kind of like there's no way to make a pin setter unless you take a shell of an old machine, mine it just to make it work with the times. But if there's somebody out there who can do that, all the power to you.
Which I guess implies the patent must be publicly usable. My wife was actually asking me that question.
What was the question?
Of can people just use the blueprint? Is it out there, and can you just replicate it? Or, AMF is still a company. Could they just go back to their setter that is currently only in Old Town Bowling Center?
If you look at the Bowmore machines, which are the only ones that I really know, I know the D machines better.
The vast majority.
Because I was the mechanic at Mason's, one of the mechanics at Mason's. Yep. But if you look at how the machine works, you got to figure out, okay, turntable, you have to figure out tubes, you have to figure out the motors, all that stuff. But I can honestly say, and I'm speaking in my perspective, if you were to take a shell of a machine, like I said, try and modernize it, you got a good chance on doing that. But the question is there somebody out there who's mechanically inclined that can try to do something like that? I would love to see somebody say, you know what, I'm going to take a shell machine, I'm going to take two old machines, and I'm going to try and figure out how to replicate it so it works similar to what the machines were back in the day.
Makes sense, and I know a lot of people, obviously, Scott Moore's, even Candlepin Sales does do parts nowadays, but just not the full-blown construction of these.
No. But if anybody could replicate a machine,
Wayne McDonald, Hall of Famer, most recent class induction.
But if anybody could replicate a machine, there's only two people I know that could probably do it. That's Scott Moore and Cam Moore, because they're legit mechanics. They know what the hell they're doing. But if they could replicate a machine, make something similar to the Z4, where it's just like the E machine, a little faster, but not like a D machine, which can take its time loading. If you were to replicate it, if I were to do it, this is what I would do. I would try and make it a little faster, so it moves faster. So that way you could pick up the pace of play. The pace of play has to do with how fast you bowl and how fast the pin sort of takes to work.
Right. And there's certain models like the AMF is the quickest resetter, and then Model E of the Bullmore, which is what Ryan Family uses.
This is the
rapid pin sweep. That's how you know.
Yeah. This is I mean, look at Riverwalk.
Mm-hmm.
Look how Mark takes care of his machines.
Also Model E's.
Yeah. Those machines are the fastest in the game.
Right.
By far. The Z4 machines, they have the tendency of it. They have a little bit of the E built into them, and they also have a little bit of the D built into them. If you look at their sweeps are like the D model, but the speed is like the E model.
Interesting.
But what I would like to do is I would like to take something like the E, right, which is quick, but also increase the speed on how fast it works. Don't forget, you got 24 pins per machine.
Right.
So it's
2 racks plus a couple of spares.
Yes. Well, 2 racks plus 3 spares.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like you got to make sure that, 1, you have enough pins. 2, you got to make sure that the motors are working properly. It's not easy to build those motors, I can tell you that right now. But I look at Ellsworth Bowling Alley, Arms Place.
The former Demanda's Bowling Center as featured on NPR.
Yes.
Among others.
What Autumn does with her machines is fascinating. She's her own employee.
Yeah.
She's a full-time mechanic and full-time proprietor. But she does a good enough job to keep her machines maintained. And I said to her in the past on Facebook, I would love to go up there and see how your machines are, so I could get an idea of if and when something's going to break. Because that way you can get the money, get the parts, instead of taking parts from another machine and be down a link.
Right.
So there's that aspect.
She purports to have the oldest ones. I think there's dispute about it actually being a so-called prototype, but her claim maintains that it's the oldest machines known.
Look at Harvard. You've seen those machines.
Mm-hmm.
Skeeter does one heck of a job with this.
And bowling on them we saw too.
Oh, yeah. But I can say, as well as I know Skeeter can fix a problem faster than anybody I know.
Hmm. And he was a manager under previous ownership as well, if I recall correctly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he was. He was
deservingly so.
Yes. But he's also the mechanic of that place.
Ooh.
And when it was 2 and 4 lanes, right?
Former name.
And when Liz Moore was the manager, she had Scott Moore work on the machines. Skeeter told me something I really should not say on the air, but
here we go then.
But I'm not going to say. But what I heard from Skeeter was it took Skeeter more time than less time to repair everything.
Mm-hmm.
So put 2 and 2 together and you'll get where I'm going.
A math equation for you folks at home.
Exactly. Now you tell me if Scott knows what he's doing. I personally think he does. Because he used to own Needham Bowl Drum. So.
Needham Bowl away.
Yeah. And I believe that house is up for sale too, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure. No, Zach Zach still very much is the owner there.
Okay.
I have not heard of him selling it at all. $10 for Fry. He's got a 56 half. He made a 4-6 bump off the wall for one of those 9 boxes, which was wild. 37 through 4 for Berrigan. I'll have some camera adjustments to do before the 12 p.m. Thank you for your patience, folks, bearing with us. It was a little bit of a challenge to get set up this morning, and appreciate your patience as we get there now. Down Main Street goes Berrigan, but look at this wood roll, and this 3-pin should have gotten over. No thank you, but
this is a similar shot. What Jack has is something similar to what I had. but I had no wood when I had to shoot at it. This is a cut shot and a half, but he does have a couple pieces of wood. Let's see where he goes with it.
He did get it. Wood off the wall.
I knew that shot goes. And
he did. Jack Berrigan wearing the Mixed International Academy Lanes shirt, Haverhill, Massachusetts. Sponsored a lot of good teams, including the finalists, RBF Gals and the Ladies Internationals. And, of course, the defending men's international team. Sorry, Fenway Academy representatives Joe Smith and Cole Fry.
Oh, they gave a good run. That finals last year was such.
And again, it's not Chris Merrill's fault. Cole Fry had the top score on Fenway Academy in that finals, I remember. Jeremy Seaholm with a blockbuster 170 string, and Academy Lanes never looked back.
Jeremy was unconscious when he threw that.
Yeah.
There's no way he was focused. I was there for that too. And he was focused. In the way he was cutting pins from left to right or right to left, it didn't matter. He was making everything. Not one shot was safe on that deck. Yeah. You could probably say that Spread Eagle was the only safer shot. And I'm saying no, because with the way he was bowling, he could cut that shot without a problem.
Seaholm is such an interesting gentleman. He is both, wears his emotions on his sleeve and yet is capable of going into the Zen moment when he needs to. It's just almost like perfect emotional control from my perception.
Real quick, mirror images. Cleary on the left, Cleary on the right.
There is an 8-pin. Sorry for the angle. Didn't quite get it. Yep, got to get it on the head pin, obviously, so we keep the mirror image. The Super Eagle.
Yeah, exactly.
Flying Eagle, anybody? No, don't do that. Don't do that. I think it was, Eric Jones at Riverwalk who did that and knocked out a pin and Mark Richard was just like, yup, knew that was going to happen. That's all right. That video, that oldie but a goodie's probably still out there on YouTube.
It is. They actually did another Candlepin, another 10-pin trick shot. It's where they took 2 racks of pins and put them all in one lane just to try to get a strike. Dominic Ritchie made his. Eric made his. And I was saying to myself, I can picture all the broken pins Mark is going to have with this.
Do it for the content.
Yep.
Lee's drops 9. Smith ran down 4 horsemen in an 8-pin. He's 87 and a ball through 9.
But there's also another video out there. It's uncensored, so that means there is the F-bomb and stuff like that. It's when Eric Jones and Mike Ritchie were doing Jason Belmonte's signature
two-handed.
I've been meaning to ask you this. Do you follow the PBA at all?
Enough to know you don't need to be two-handed to get rev rate, that's for sure. But, of course, the Ladies Pro Tour recently packed a stadium in why do I want to say somewhere in the Midwest, but I'm trying to remember where it was. I think they got a lot of youth turnout for that event, and that's why they were able to fill the seats. But still, it was awesome to just bowl in front of that many people. Like the good old days when, bowling alleys were packed with spectators in the heyday.
The problem nowadays is kids have their video games and stuff like that. That's why.
I think entertainment choice is good. Just.
But that's why kind of all the forms of bowling are kind of diving off.
Sure. As soon as Candlepin stabilizes, which might require a little bit of regrowth and, manufacture the machines to make sure it gets back on the right track. I don't think you need to replicate Blockbuster, Channel 5 outdoing the Major 4 sports teams. Yes, that happened. But you'd like to just reverse the current trend. Even though I think some derivative or another, I'm thinking calculus, is going in the right direction.
What hurt the most was when Channel 5 got canceled, Stars and Stripes was still kind of in the heyday because Dick Luster and Mike Morin took that over from Doug Brown and
Dan Murphy.
But then when the Dick Lutz and Mike Moran, part of Stars and Stripes, got canceled. WV56 tried taking
Candlepins for dollars.
Candlepin for dollars. But that was a good show. Dave Barber was on that.
Mm-hmm. The Razor.
Oh, my God. Was he ever the Razor?
Paul Grant didn't invent nicknames. Sean Baker. Yeah, well, okay, bud. Sure.
But there's some nicknames that some of these guys have do not fit them at all. And I'm being honest with that. And I've been saying that to Paul for years, but he still he doesn't want to listen.
Sometimes there's memorability to it, but I see your point. I think there are some clever ones, like Charles Collins being the Terminator. A Terminator always protects his mother. That's a good one, I think.
Yeah.
That's like true and authentic to a bowler's personality, for example. So
you have to give him the nickname that fits the person. That's because a lot of people who bowl, like when Chris Bovig came up through the ranks, they called him the kid.
Well, once upon a time.
But now you can call him the old man. But you can also say the same thing for Surratt.
I'm sure he'll be delighted.
Well, no, he says it to me all the time. Chris says it to me all the time. But he's like, no, I'm just old.
I could just imagine him coming up. I'm not a kid, Kevin.
Oh, he said it to me before. And I'm like, I'm just using your nickname, dude. That's because I know you for so long.
That's a strike by Berrigan. Yeah. Speaking of Lita Lane's prodigies.
Like, look at Hodge. Hodge, he had that nickname first on, as I can remember. And that started when he was on Channel 50. He had that nickname.
Gold Fry, a 3-mark chain. In fact, I think he even had a 400 triple in that men's final. Just 3 this time. Out of the state of Maine. Joe Smith out of Massachusetts. I believe an Academy bowler, quite simply.
He is. He's a full-time Academy bowler. Cole Fry pulls out of Bingo Brewer. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Evan and Maddie take that over?
They own Penny Lane, the pub nearby for Evan. That's a double strike, by the way, for Berrigan. They own Penny Lane. That's the pub nearby.
Okay.
So they're attached to Bangor Brewer and very much invested in it. And, of course, did a segment recently on Maine local news where Evan and Maddie, literally like the newlywed game in 2 separate interviews, said, like, 5 years ago, Evan would have said he's best. Now Maddie would say she's best. And I think it's probably right.
But from what I've been hearing, Evan's not bowling that much anymore.
He's here today to support his wife, who's in the field. Not sure about that. Maybe he'll get a chance to tactfully ask. Berrigan double strike.
How about a lemon drop for Cole Fry?
And I'm afraid so. First strike fill is 16 for Jack. 83 through 6. It's a tough split here. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 1 lane this time. I'm definitely doing a less good job than usual following the action, so that's what we'll do here. Thank you for bearing with us. That's a spare. He's got this one from behind.
A 20 on one strike and a 6 on another.
Yeah. Because they don't go ball for ball, and like even in a teams match, you're not technically supposed to. You're supposed to go at most bowler for bowler, which is sort of even there. That's not in the rules. But again, ICBA, you could revise the rules and make that better, because right of way gets misinterpreted that it only applies if 2 people step up at the same time. That's literally it. On a spare, see you later. 10 more for Jack Berrigan.
A boss league for a triple.
Massive 5-mark chain.
How much is that in bonus money?
Yeah. You can reset there. Kevin's actually, with notability, Kevin's dissenting opinion here, but most bowlers would say if you reset the gate in my face, that's actually not going to distract me. But although I think it's probably possible to just wait a little extra second. But even there, as long as you're doing it in a rhythm that's predictable and not disruptive and not cynically trying to throw off the opponents.
I always wait. Because that's how I was taught. Because I learned from...
And I think a lot of people were increasingly in the newer generation.
Yeah. Because the way I was taught by Mark and those guys. And I always ask, when do you reset if you get a mark?
Yeah.
If you have somebody on the left or on the right. And they always said to me, if you always want to focus on who's on your right. That's who you're going up against.
Interesting. Although here the lanes aren't strictly attached, and especially in elimination as well. But it's also, it is, how do you be courteous to the bowlers you're next to? Because, of course, the whole point is to enjoy bowling and play at a reasonable pace. Phil is 6 on the strike. That's a luckless hit on the head pin. And I think that's going to be something I would love to see both of the ICBA and CBA, the Candlepin Bowlers Association, come together on. Which reminds me, we need to sponsor them again. Candlepin Bowlers Association, an organization by bowlers for bowlers. Candlepinbowlersassociation.org. Candlepinbowlersassociation.org is where you can go for more information, or look up the Candlepin Bowlers Association on Facebook to learn more about recent things, including the recent youth adult tournament coming up in a few weeks' time, as well as remind myself. I want to make sure I get this right, folks. Excuse me. And also average tracking as well. You're able to submit bowling scores. They're automatically tracking a number of tournaments, including this Pro Series, but you can submit your league scores as well and have a better average tracking. And hopefully we can have a better centralization of that in the future. But yeah, the Kids Pro Single Tournament, that's October 26th. Again, sign up on the Candlepin Bowlers Association and follow them on Facebook and on their website, candlepinbowlersassociation.org, which again is distinct from the International Candlepin Bowling Association, which is more proprietor-sided, but also a love of candlepin bowling first and foremost.
Real quickly before we...
Last comment before we cut off, yeah.
Do you think that the ICBA and the CBA are going to merge as one thing?
No, I don't, because I think they're two perfectly valid perspectives, and I think the distinct perspectives are important, and yet cooperation between them would make it the best. I think that'll be the best arrangement. We'll look forward to discussing that and more things coming up. 12 p.m. qualifier and 2 p.m. qualifiers after that, and then the elimination event right afterwards.
We will continue that conversation about the CBA and the ICBA at 12. So stay tuned.
Yes, please.
So stay tuned for the next shift that's going to start momentarily.
Yep. End of this stream. Another one starting soon, live on Facebook and YouTube. Candlepin Bowling Network. We look forward to seeing you soon. Please like and follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube so that you're in the know. Especially hit the bell on YouTube. Thank you very much. So long for now.